Good afternoon. We are back with On the Road of Recovery with Jimmy from Columbus. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for coming out and joining us. Can you describe your childhood? What was it like? Your friends? Did you fit in at school? Just a bit about your childhood.
My dad, he worked every day. You're home at dinner every day. I had good family. Never really wanted anything, but I was always afraid of either the other kids in the area, or I was afraid of my dad when he'd come home because you never knew what he was going to get because he drank as well. And he wasn't, I still don't know if he's alcoholic. He's 83 years old. I don't know. But I do know that I lived a life of fear, and I didn't even realize I was in fear until I got older and started doing the steps, and I realized what was going on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I didn't want for anything. I didn't grow up in a poor neighborhood. I didn't grow up in a rich neighborhood. It was really a great childhood, to be honest. I never had anything that, I went to school and it was good.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing about that part of your life. We recognize that people come from all different sorts of backgrounds, and that's part of what we're trying to capture. So when did you first start experimenting with alcohol or drugs? Do you remember how it made you feel?
Yes, I remember. Well, the thing is, I never wanted to drink because my dad did, and so I swore I'd never be like that. So I never was really drinking. I remember the first time we did drink, though, we stole some Boone's Farm out of the United Dairy Farmers by our house, and three of us went down to the river, and we just drank some Strawberry Fields, and all of us got sick as hell. We all puked. It was like an experience. It wasn't good. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really like that shit. But the first time I remember feeling high was I found a couple joints in the house my dad had hidden, and me and my younger brother, we went outside and smoked them, and I loved that feeling. I loved getting high. I don't know why. It just made me feel comfortable, and I loved just to get high on pot. And that was pretty much my my usage in the early days of I'm a late bloomer.
Can you tell me a little bit about the progression of your disease?
Progression of the alcohol started very slowly. I started off with wild turkey. I never liked beer, so I just drank liquor. And from the liquor, I drank for, I don't know, 40 years of hard drinking. And at the end of it all, I would drink anything that had alcohol in it. I would drink 211 reserves for $1.25 a can if I could get them. Whatever alcohol there was, I would drink it because my body was physically addicted to alcohol. I had no choice over it. Alcohol took over my life because it just physiologically, that's what happens. It just takes over your body. Mm-hmm. And it takes a while.
So can you talk a little bit about how did that affect your family, your employment? What was your life like during that period of time as the alcoholism was getting worse?
Well, I started a family when I was around 25 with my daughter and my son. It was great. I had my own company. I'm a professional closer in sales, so I had no problem with money and success. I drove fancy cars and lived in fancy condos and made lots of money, but at the whole time I was like, really, that was where I could like work and I could actually function. And I was in my 25 to 35 year range, and it was time to build a family, and I did, and I got great kids out of it. And But after 13 years of marriage, I came in the house one day, and my wife, she says, asked her where she'd been. She went, I was at an Al-Anon meeting. And I said, what the hell's Al-Anon? What is that for? And she said, it's for your alcoholism. And I said, I ain't an alcoholic. I mean, I'm in denial until I'm 45, 50 years old. So it obviously had an effect on my marriage, because that went to hell.
And how, so you get up to, you said that in 45 to 50, so when did you first recognize that you had a problem, and what did you do?
I really didn't surrender until I came to the House of Hope. I was around 55 years old, or a little older, somewhere at maybe 57, right in that age group.
Okay.
And I had had enough. I mean, I got 4 DUIs. I got 2 in 1 week, 3 in a month, 4 in a year. Was on running from the police for 18 months, violating probation. I mean, I dropped dirty, and I blew up 2.8 in my PO's office. I mean, I was a very abusive alcoholic. I was drunk from the time I woke up until the time I went to bed every single day, trying to hustle. Here I was, everybody owes me because I got them stuff for years, and so I could just mooch off people for a while. That didn't last very long, right? And I just, I started living in the back of my car, and I went from, I call it the Penthouse to the Outhouse, and it went real quick.
Yeah. So you said you got a divorce, you lost your job. Did you have a relationship with your children much at the end there?
Not much at the end, but now I have a very good relationship with my family. I'm actually running my family, which came off I never even knew that was a role in life until I got sober. Mm-hmm. Now everybody depends on me.
Gotcha.
It's pretty cool.
That's for sure. So what was that moment of clarity that what is your sobriety date?
December 2nd, 2017.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. And can you talk a bit about that that moment of clarity?
That was my last drunk. I've been through medically induced comas. I was in total denial up until I read in the big book that it was a disease. I had no knowledge of what this alcoholism thing was. I just thought I liked to drink and have a good time, and everybody else did because that's all I knew. But the reality is when I read the doctor's opinion, and it talked about the phenomenon of craving and the physiological need for the body to have that, the light bulb came on. I said, there's why I drink. It's because I'm allergic to alcohol. If once I put a drop of it in me, I'm going to drink and drink and drink. There's no stopping me. So I thank God every day that I don't even think about even a drop of alcohol.
Absolutely. So can you talk a little bit about your experience at the House of Hope?
Oh, that there, I don't know how much I can talk about.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
All I can say is that it is a behavior adjustment program. There's, I don't know about that. The House of Hope is a lifesaver for me. It gave me 6 months of treatment plans where I could get a treatment plan every week and work on all my little problems I had. Like I thought I was Prince Charming, and they let me know real quick I wasn't. And I thought I was the smartest guy in the room. They definitely let you know real quick. It is a tremendous experience. If anyone has the opportunity to go to the House of Hope, and it's the last house on the block for a reason. And when you are without hope, go to the House of Hope. It saved my life. I'm not doing this just to promote House of Hope. I'm just telling you that's what it did for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And can you talk a little bit about what is your day-to-day life like today? What do you do on a daily basis?
Oh, I get up at 6:45. I go to work. I work until around noon. I go fishing after I'm done. If it's not too hot, I'll go fishing, or in the winter, I'll just come home and watch TV. I have a cake job because I'm in sales. I've never lost the ability to sell, so that's was the fortunate thing God gave me, was the ability to take care of myself. So I basically have the afternoons off, and I go fishing almost every day. So then I go pick up guys from the House of Hope, or I go pick up guys from Serenity Street, or I go pick up somebody, a sponsee, and then I go to a meeting every single night. Then I come home, I watch a little TV, I go to bed, I do it again tomorrow.
Excellent. Very cool. So can you talk a little bit about what that mental obsession was?
Oh, God, it was hell. The mental obsession. Oh, boy. Where can I find some quarters? Can I get some seeds off the floor? It looks like a little dust left over there in that corner. Where in hell's fire can I find somebody that'll just buy me a drink? Where can I get a drink? Let me see a drink on a bar that I can go over and just drink it. The obsession of the mind was just totally, that was everything. Everything in my life. It wasn't nothing but, how can I get my next drink? Who can I live with? Where can I flop down at? And hopefully they drink like me and like me. And then I can just drink like, I mean, it just took over my mental state. It's a world that if you haven't lived it, hopefully you never do, but when you do live it, you'll know what it is.
So then on the other side, can you talk a bit about what peace and serenity means for you?
Oh, the freedom now from King Alcohol is great. I mean, I have peace of mind and I have happiness. And that's all I ask for every day. I can go to sleep at night, I sleep really good. I wake up every day, I'm in a good mood. I hardly ever have a bad day. Not that there's things that don't happen that are bad, like people die. That happens, but I can handle that. I don't have to go get drunk over it. I can handle, just everyday problems that I didn't even knew there were problems. Because I lived it. Alcoholism, you live in a world that's like all fantasy. Nothing's real. But real life is really cool. I talk to family all the time. I mean, it's just a constant family thing for me now.
So can you talk a bit about your relationships today? What has changed between family members, significant other, friends? What are your relationships like today?
Well, the most important one is with my 2 kids. My son, he has 3 grandkids, and they just love Grandpa. I spoil the hell out of them. They get to come over to my house. I live on campus. I live in a really nice home, and all my kids have been to campus. They all walk to university because that's where they're going to go. And so my family life now is tremendous. I'm so blessed, and my mom lives with me now. I just moved her in 2 weeks ago because she's up in her years. And everything. I'm even taking care of my grouchy old dad. I don't even know if he's an alcoholic yet, but he's just an old hillbilly from the coal mines of West Virginia. He's stuck in his ways, man. And I go down and take care of him a little bit. And the biggest thing I like, and I love both my kids the same. There's no difference. But my daughter's out in Las Vegas, and she just had my 6-month-old. Her 6-month-old grandbaby for me, and her name's Sabrina. And I got to hold her just a week ago on the weekend because my ex-wife had passed away, so Megan was in town. And I finally got to get that grandbaby. And Megan's 35. She's got a PhD. She waited all them years, everything, and then finally her family life is now her family life, and I get to live that. I get to live with my grandkids and all their little shenanigans. And my mom is in the other room, and Dad's down the road. It's just my life now. The obsession of alcohol is turned into the obsession of family.
Very cool.
And I love it. I just love it.
So, can you share with me an example of one thing that you are most proud of doing since getting sober?
Don't sleep in the back of somebody's Cadillac anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own car, which my church gave me. We volunteered as part of the House of Hope to do service work at the homeless shelter, and one of the people there gave me a car. So I got my own car, and I got my own apartments, 3-bedroom on Neal Avenue. That's very nice. I can work the hours that I want when I want to work. I peace of mind and just happiness is probably my biggest things to me. That's what's important to me.
Absolutely. So can you share some examples of experiences that you've been able to have in recovery that otherwise would not have been possible?
Yes, I went and seen ZZ Top. I have seen hundreds of great bands, from Led Zeppelin to Pink Floyd to all the big names in rock and roll. Don't remember any of them, except for this one time when I was sober. I went to ZZ Top, and I remember the concert. That was cool, you know.
Are there any dreams or hopes that you have for your future? Something that you would like to do that would not have been possible in active addiction?
Right now, probably the biggest thing that I have as a goal would to get my a new company started, one that I would be able to leave to my kids and my family. I had a good company. Alcohol, I let alcohol. Alcohol didn't do it. I let it take away everything I had. And I would like to, I'm not really trying to get back what I had, but I would like to start a new business and do it sober.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Do you have any words of hope that you would like to share with someone who is trying to get sober?
Starting off, just keep coming back, because eventually you're going to have a life that you never even knew existed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much. There was one other question that I wanted to ask about. You have mentioned that you spend time with your family and that you seem to be very involved. Can you talk to us a little bit about what service work means and what that concept is?
Well, service work, right now I'm the coffee man for Saturday Night Live. I get there about an hour early. I make coffee for around 120 people, and that is a great service job. I've had service jobs since I got into AA. It's like, just go around and clean tables, be a secretary. I have secretary meetings where your job is to set up the meeting, make sure you got speakers, make sure the readings, basically control the meeting without controlling the meeting, making sure everything goes smooth. There's chair seats, there's treasurer seats. If anything that you have that you like to do, there will be a spot in AA where you can do service work. We have a hot dog man at the Dogs Without a Roof, and he's so he's the hot dog man. So I mean, service work is essential to stay involved, because it's like you get a new family. I stay within, my whole life revolves around me staying sober today. Mm-hmm. And that's anything messes with that, I don't want it to come into my life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to share that we missed that you could share with our audience?
It's never too late to, I'm 60 years old today. I'm coming up on 4 years sobriety. So look at all the years that I drank and drugged and ran around and did everything I shouldn't have. I had fun, but at the end of the day, I would rather have been dead. So it's not too late, no matter what age you are. And if you're in the rooms, stay in the rooms.